Morning. What's happening, sports fans, man? You know what I mean? Prosperity Nation, all the supporters. What's happening? March the 5th. Feel me? About 9:30. Prosperity TV is back, man. You know what I'm saying? The Sports Zone, man, and the AM radio is back on. You know, um, I told y'all I was gonna come back. I wanted to make sure I had, because I actually made a few mistakes on the last episode. So I wanted to make sure I had some of my corrections ready to go before I hop back on. You know what I mean? It's a rainy morning this morning in the area. Over here on this downtown Virginia side, it's raining, taking it easy. But when I had made a mistake real quick before I continue, um, when I said 10 straight postseason, went to the playoffs 10 years straight, I mean Carmelo Anthony, he himself went to the playoffs 10 years straight. 7 years straight in Denver and 3 years straight in New York. So that's what I meant there. I know he was not in Denver for 10 years. I know some people kind of poked a hole. In my segment, he had 10 straight playoff appearances. He missed the playoffs for about 3 years and then went back with OKC um, in 2017. And I think that was the last time that he went because he didn't. After Houston just tossed him to the side, he did not get another opportunity to play until like 2 years later with LeBron. And unfortunately, that team, everybody was just hurt that year, bro. Um, hurt. That was a really injury riddled season for a very good club, for the Lakers. So let's get back to the subject at hand. What's up with the disrespect, bro? I see a lot of people saying the same thing. Like, you guys don't even realize I'm reading the comments on a bunch of different videos. These new videos coming out now. Like, I am the algorithm. I am the streets. I'm the algorithm. Every time I say something, somebody pops up and makes a buku amounts of content about it. I am the algorithm. What you guys fail to understand is that you're repeating quotes from the same two people. The quote, oh, he'd rather score 50 and lose instead of scoring 15 to win, that came from none other than Chauncey Billups. I'm going to say that again. The quote that Melo would rather score 50 and lose rather than scoring 15 in a win, that came from Chauncey Billups. I got at Chauncey on the last joint because, again, I'm not dumb. Y'all repeating nonstop Chauncey Billups and George Karl quotes, bro. Nonstop. There has literally been nobody else that's been a Carmelo naysayer. Nobody. People take the video that Ty Lawson did some years ago, an interview. They took that in a misleading way. Ty Lawson was a baby when all of this is going on, man. He's a young player. They have no idea what he is or is not going to do when all of this is going down. You know what I mean? So all he said was, you know, uh, they had to give up a little bit. You know what I mean? They got a bunch. I want to know the Knicks had to give up a bunch, and pretty much the good thing for him was that he got a lot of new pieces to work with, and he gets to start. And essentially, that's how he made a niche for himself in the NBA is Carmelo being traded. He did not say anything like, "Oh yeah, that we saw better days because Carmelo was traded." No. Ty Lawson saw better days because Carmelo was traded. Ty Lawson didn't play a whole lot when Carmelo was there. Chauncey was starting. That's why. When Chauncey got packaged with Carmelo, it gave Ty an opportunity to show what he can do. It didn't have nothing to do. It didn't have nothing to do with Chauncey. I'm sure Chauncey was a good vet to Ty. I'm sure he showed him the ropes, showed him how to be a pro, because that was the team that the Nuggets drafted Ty. So I'm sure all of that is still true, man. I don't really think it had anything to do with either guy. I think it's just one guy looking at, doing what he's supposed to do as a professional athlete, looking around and say, "Hey, I've got opportunity to be something, and I need to take advantage." I don't. That is, you don't got to slight a guy to notice that. You got an opportunity to start as a young player, young guard. Man, he took full advantage of it, bro. Full advantage. I mean, he did what he supposed to do. It don't have nothing to do with Chauncey or Melo. Nothing. Um, I've never heard anybody talk down on bro. I've never heard Chris Anderson talk down on bro. I've never heard Kenyon, Marcus, and listen, Kenyon is never scared to criticize anybody. He don't hold back on anybody. I ain't never talked down on Big Dog ever. Amari has never talked down on Big Bro. Like, Amari gets visibly agitated when you guys bring that internet BS to real life on Carmelo's name, man. Who do you think was the one that told him, "Hey, man, you got to screw your head on straight"? Because you pretty much just cost us this freaking playoff series. You got to screw your head on straight. When Amari punched the fire extinguisher glass after a loss against the Heat in the playoffs and he broke his effing hand, and we were going to lose indefinitely. Who you think told, "Hey, man, you got to straighten up"? Amari says, "I'm going to play anyway." Why do you think he did? Because Melo went over there and chewed his behind, bro, because he said, "Man, you just screwed us. Big time, you just screwed us." Nobody who doesn't care about winning is going to do that. Nobody. A guy who does not care about winning is going to take his 40 points. It's not like Melo dropped 40 on Miami twice, and we stole the game from them. Big three. Come on, man. A man who don't care about winning, he's going to take that and he's going to go to the bank with it. Dude is frustrated, man. He don't let y'all see frustration. It's not his job. When you see Melo, what is he doing? He's smiling. He's encouraging teammates. Cheerful. That's called being a professional, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mean things as it's just all sweet and candy corn around here. No, 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 no. That's not what that means. When it's time to get on that type of time, the camera's not going to see it. That's in-house. It's in-house, man. He did not speak on what transpired between him and KG until years. Both of them boys is long retired. Why? Because there's a level of professionalism that the man carries that is actually a lost art today. I'm a leader. You know what I mean? I'm a leader. When we lose, blame it on me, man. When we win, I don't want no credit. They're going to give me the credit because I'm a superstar, but I don't want no credit, man. Just we play good team ball. It's called being a professional. This is how you. I mean, maybe not now, but this is how you had to survive as a star. Every star that did not take this approach, a la Tracy McGrady, did not last that long. And I'm gonna say Tracy's name again. I'm gonna bring up a cat like Tracy. I'm gonna bring up a cat like who else, man? There's a bunch of dudes, bro. Melo never averaged 30. Tracy averaged 30. Why does nobody go out of their way to call out Tracy for failing to win a single goddamn playoff series, bro? Why? Huh? Is it because the media told us we're supposed to like Tracy more? Says who? Says who? I love both guys, man. See, I don't play those games. I'm a huge fan of both. I appreciated the greatness and what they brought to the game, both guys. But when it comes to basketball, between those two, it's not. If you want to call somebody a loser as a superstar, I think T-Mac is a much better target, and he's not a loser. Let me tell y'all what a loser is, in my opinion. Let me see. Are there any dominant guys who just did nothing? Kevin Love, when he was in his prime, he's a loser. They sucked. They sucked bad, but they didn't go to a single postseason with him. 8 years. Not a goddamn postseason appearance. Pardon my language. 8 years. Dominant basketball too, man. This is why we don't in professional spaces. These conversations ain't being had like that because it's not fair. It's not fair to the player because at least a 3-year stretch, Kevin was the best power forward in the NBA. He was kicking Tim Duncan's ass. Pardon my language. Pardon my language. He was bussing Tim Duncan, Zach Randolph, all those boys was getting busted in the post, getting destroyed from three. Kevin Love was a monster on the post. Oh my God. You little young, snot-nosed little monsters wouldn't know nothing about that, man. But he ain't win nada, man. I think the best record he gave them over there in Minnesota was a 40-42. Huh? That's the best record, 40-42. They almost made the playoffs, not quite. That's the best record he ever gave them. Huh? He's a champion. He's a champion now. Under his leadership, no. He never played in the playoffs, which is why it took him a little while to become a decent number 2 and 3 for LeBron, because when he played with LeBron was the first time that he had ever been in the postseason. It's not rocket science, kids. It's very simple. You know, there are guys who lead their teams as star players. There are winners, and there are star players that win. And right now, there's a plethora of star players that win. You know, it's a plethora of that. Let's talk about something else as well. Oh, Melo should have went here and did this. He should have signed here. Let's talk about it real quick. Let's talk about the state of the NBA, because I don't even know the state of the NBA during these years. Bro, 99, lockout shortened season. Lockout shortened season. Money is pretty much scarce in layman's terms. When there's a lockout, it's a money problem. The NBA has got money problems. That's what that means, right? The year after Jordan leaves, lockout, money problem, right? Um, this is the player empowerment era. We don't even call it that anymore, because players having as much control as they have is extremely normalized now. So we don't even call it player empowerment era no more. We're used to it, right? Y'all want to know who started that? It was LeBron who started that with the decision, because every single team that was marketed to be a front runner to sign LeBron James were not even remotely close, because the logistics that the media outlets like this ESPN and them boys were using, and even when they documented the whole situation, they were way off. You know, New York way off, way off. Lakers way off. They ain't got enough money. I know Chicago was an option, way off. You know, and the reason why that one was way off is he despised Chicago, bro. He wanted to beat the crap out of them. You know, Miami, and the reason why, all basketball. For the first time, a superstar made a free agency decision strictly on wanting to play with other superstar players. The first time in history. I'm telling y'all, nobody knew. No one knew. For those of you who weren't there, when we watched the TV that evening or during the afternoon, whatever the hell it was, we were all pretty shocked. You know, I had my cousin was the athletic director at Florida International at the time, and he was the only guy that was like, "Yeah, Bron's coming to 305." But I'm a kid. I don't know what goddamn area code that is, so I just didn't pay it no mind. So he had some insight because he's in the Florida area that Bron was going to be coming to town. But that was in the street, man. That was nowhere on TV. You heard Miami a couple times because of the relationship between Wade and Bron, but everybody was way off. It was New York, Chicago, Dallas, San Antonio, everything, man. everything. But Miami. So nobody, when I say nobody, I mean nobody made free agency decisions based on solely basketball. It's about marketing dollars, marketing opportunities, how much money can they offer, what's the cap situation looking like, and that's still relevant. Obviously none of this is possible if the team does not have the cap. Um, but when you say, same years, Melo should have signed here, he should did this, should did that. Again, there is no LeBron was the first one to break the mold and say, I'm gonna do this and take control. It had never been done. I can't be but so upset at a guy for not wanting to be a martyr, you know, especially somebody that comes from that kind of background. Like LeBron's got an extravagant team of guys around him. They're some of the most innovative forward thinkers in the business, bro. Um, Maverick, Rich, them boys. I got nothing but respect and admiration for both of those dudes, man. I try to, anytime they speak, I just soak up as much as I can, man, because the service that they've done to LeBron is like I've never seen anything like it. They're all personal friends. It's a beautiful thing to see. Everybody don't got that though. You never heard about Melo's right hand man? He probably don't got one that can help him on that level. Help him be innovative on that level with a business tip. Absolutely not. Never heard of it, bro. He was just that lit. He didn't have that business acumen. He was just that lit. He Jordan didn't come to LeBron and say, "I want you to be a part of Jordan brand." You want to know why? Because he's not a Jordan kind of player. And his brain too big, man. Brian, I think they saw the vision there. His brain, he was thinking Brandon at 18. He's thinking global. How do I get global at 18? He's thinking about that. So they don't even. Melo in Denver, and then he was gone. The next. And Melo, like he spoke on this while he's still playing. He's left in the front office with his hands up in the air, like, what the F? And he had to learn the business, a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a situation where it's like, you know, if he was as good as Kobe, maybe, maybe that didn't happen. Maybe that, it doesn't matter where he signs. I'll give him that. He was not as good as Kobe. He just wasn't, bro, because he was not as dominant on both ends of the floor. Kobe was a dominant playmaker, or more often than not, whenever he had guys to throw the rock to. And again, Melo was a good playmaker. He was never a dominant playmaker, no matter who he played next to, because there was nobody that could guard him. So he's always going to look to shoot it first. There's nobody that can guard him. Literally, Brian can't guard him. Kobe can't really guard him. Like when I think about the Nuggets and Lakers series in '09, bro, it came down to the wire and fourth quarter play. Kobe could not stop have him shooting the ball in bad stretches, but he never stopped shooting. And that's what made Kobe irritated. Is that they were just alike in that regard. I ain't gonna stop shooting. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna keep being aggressive. And Kobe and Melo at that time were really the only guys that were still living like that. AI was one of those dudes in his prime. I'm not going to stop shooting. I'm going to in the postseason. I'm going to continue to be aggressive. I'm going to continue to attack. And if you think about what happened in 2009, first of all, the Lakers were head over heels better than the Nuggets. The simple fact that they did not get swept is only credit to Carmelo and Carmelo only.